Hi, it's Mrs. Velasco. I'm going to go over four of the homework problems. We're going to be able to work on them tomorrow in class, but I just wanted to just go over four of them. Okay, this is number one, x squared plus 18x plus 56. So again, it's the same thing we've been doing. I like to first uh, identify what a, b, and c is. Okay? So a is the number that's next to the x squared, the coefficient. So as mathematicians, they don't like to write the number one, but a would be 1. Okay. B is the number next to the x. So here b is 18. And then c is the number, it's a constant, it does not have the variable. So that's c, so that's 56. Okay, that's the first step. I don't know why this keeps going in and out. Okay, next step, let's create our x. The top part, we do a times c. Okay. So here a is 1 and c is 56. So 1 times 56 is 56. Okay. And then on the bottom here, we write b, which is 18. Okay. Then the next step is the top number. You're going to make a factor table. Okay, so factor table of 56. And then the numbers you're going to look for are the ones that are going to add up to this number, to 18. Okay, so make a factor table of 56, and then the numbers add up to 18. Okay, so let's make our factor table. Now, the way I do it, it doesn't matter like to memorize what's plus or minus. So I'm going to list all the factors of 56. So 1 times 56 is 56, but also negative 1 times negative 56 is positive 56. Then we have 2 times 29, negative 2 times negative 29. We have 4 times 14, negative 4 times negative 14, 7 times 8, and negative 7 times negative 8. Now we want to see which of these add up to 18. Okay, well, right away, we know this is 57. A lot of these you'll just know. You don't even have to go through all this, but I'm going to just to show you. 2 plus 29 is 31. This would be negative 31. Okay, 4 plus 14 is 18. So there we go. These two then, I'm going to write over here. I'm going to write the 4 here and the 14 here. Okay. And then the last step is to actually write the factors. Okay. So the first one would be x plus 4. The second one is x plus 14. Okay. So those are the two factors. We just take this 4 here, that's where that went, and the 14, and that's where that is. And that's all we need to do. Now, you could always check your answer. Okay, I'm only going to do it for this one. So let's say this is the answer you got. You can multiply. So make your box. I'm going to have x plus 4, x plus 14, and then fill in the boxes. So this is x squared, 4x, 14x, and then 56. Okay? And so then when you add them, plus 14x plus 56, combine these like terms, and then you get back, to the original trinomial. Okay, so that's a way you can check yourself. Okay, so that was number one. Okay, again, I'm going to do a few more. So I'm going to do number 8 from the homework. So number 8 from the homework looks like this. It is, where is it? It's number 8. So x squared plus 4x minus 12. Okay, I picked these because the first one was a plus plus, this is a plus minus. After this, we're going to do one that's a minus minus, but it's all the same. Okay, so again, I like to do my first step is to identify A, B, and C. So again, A is the number next to x squared, which is 1. B is the number next to the x, which is 4. And C is the constant, which is negative 12. So remember to take the sign with the number. Draw my X or diamond. Okay. On the top, it's A times C. So I look here, 1 times negative 12, which is negative 12. And then this bottom is B, which is 4. Okay. Then, again, I'm going to, for the top one, make my factor table. Okay. And then the bottom, I'm just going to write add to this number. Okay, so let's make our factor table of negative 12. So to get a negative 12, I can multiply 1 times negative 12, or I can multiply negative 1 times positive 12. Then I have 2 times negative 6, and then negative 2 times positive 6. Then I have 3 times negative 4, or negative 3 times positive 4. So all of these, when they're multiplied, multiply to negative 12. But now I have to see which pair adds to 4. Okay. So I know, like this one, I'm going to skip. Again, this is negative 11. This is 11. This will be negative 4. Negative 2 plus 6 is positive 4. And then we don't need to do any more because we got our number. So negative 2 and 6. So we just write these numbers here. Negative 2 and positive 6. Then I'm just going to take those and I'm just going to write them as two binomials. So x minus 2. You just take it. If it's a minus, just put it like this. X minus 2 and x plus 6. And again, you can check yourself. I'm not going to do it this time. So this would be your answer. So this is this trinomial factored. These are the factors of that trinomial. All right, let's do number 9. Okay, number 9 looks like this. So x squared minus 4x minus 45. Again, I start out the same way. What's my A? What's my B? What's my C? So in this case, A, again, the number next to x squared, which is 1. B is the number next to x, or the coefficient, which is negative 4. And C is negative 45. Okay. I draw my x. Okay. On the top, this is A times C. So 1 times negative 45 is negative 45. This bottom, I put B, so B is negative 4. So again, I'm going to make a factor table for negative 45, and then this is add to this number. So which of those would add up to negative 4? Okay. So negative 45, I'll do it on the side here. Okay, so I have 1 times negative 45 is negative 45, but also negative 1 times positive 45 is 45. 5 times negative 9 is negative 45, and then negative 5 times positive 9 is negative 45. Okay. Now I'm going to add across, see which ones add to negative 4. Well, I know these are not those. Okay. So 5 plus negative 9, that ends up to be negative 4. This bottom one ends up to be 4, so we don't want that one. So here are our numbers, 5 and negative 9. Then all you do is, let's write them as binomials. So x plus 5 times x minus 9. So these are the factors. Okay. And then I'm going to do one more, which is number 13. Okay. That was number 9. 13 is has a greatest common factor. So you'll notice 13, I don't have the homework right in front of me, but 13 and on. Okay. So let me write it down first. So 13 is 5x squared plus 30x minus 35. Okay. So you'll notice this one, the a is not 1. Okay. So when a does not equal 1, we're going to see if we could pull out a greatest common factor first. Okay. So before I do my A, B, and C, let's look here. So just a review for GCF. Okay. So the review, excuse me, take the first number and you just make factor tables. So the only thing that multiplies to 5 is 1 times 5. Okay. Then 30 is 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, and 5 times 6. Okay. And then we have the factors of 35, which is 1 times 35, and 5 times 7. Okay, so what factors do they all have in common? So they all have a 1. And then all 3 of them have a 5. Which of those two numbers, 1 or 5, is the greatest? Well, that would be 5. So 5 is the greatest common factor. Okay. So now what we do, this is what we did before, is divide each term by 5. Okay. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, so we're left with x squared. 30x divided by 5 is 6x. And then negative 35 divided by 5 is 7. Okay. But the way we write it, remember, we put the GCF on the outside. Okay. So this is the greatest common factor, and then this is what's left over. So now, this part here is what we're going to make the diamond, or make the X and everything for. Okay, so first we pull out the GCF, and then we do everything else like we've done. So now we could do our ABC for this. Okay, so A is 1, B is 6, C is negative 7. A times C. So that would be 1 times negative 7, which would be negative 7. And down here is the B, which is 6. Okay. So here we make the factor table of negative 7. We want to find numbers that add up to 6. Okay, so negative 7. We have 1 times negative 7, negative 1 times 7. That's it. So if we add them together, 1 plus negative 7 is negative 6. Negative 1 plus 7 is 6. So we actually need positive 6. So these are our factors, negative 1 and 7. So then this part here, so I should have left a little bit of room. I'm going to write it down here. So then what we do is we put the GCF here, and then we're going to write x minus 1, and then x plus 7. Okay, so that's where I got where those two numbers came from. So I factored what was inside the parentheses to x plus 1, to x minus 1 times x plus 7, and then keep the GCF outside. So this will be your final answer.